Hello, hello.
Hello.
Oh, good. It's all working. Oh, hello there to all of our viewers. My name is TJ. I am with TayJPaints, and this is my co-host Frank.
Hi, TJ. How's it going tonight?
Good. I This is our first stream, so we are going to be starting a regular painting stream. Well, mostly a review stream. We're going to be trying to look at new models, what we've been painting this week, any new techniques, and probably talking about the games overall. And there's a lot to talk about starting this week, with Adepticon just finishing, and you were entered in Golden Demon, so with a fantastic model, by the way. It was great. A ghost keel. So we are gonna go through a lot of these new models. Well, first, probably the best thing is let's introduce ourselves. Like I said, my name is TJ. I run and operate TJ Paints, a commission painting service. Um, and I've been doing that for about the last 2 years, full time, about 9 months. And I really wanted to get into streaming with this stuff. Now we're trying to get all the cameras and stuff in order so I can paint while we go, and I can maybe show some tips and tricks. Frank over here is a good friend of mine and also a very good painter. So go ahead, Frank.
Hi, I'm Frank. I play a lot of competitive Warhammer. I also am very focused on painting and the hobby itself. As TJ mentioned, I entered Golden Demon this year at the Adepticon. This was my second year actually entering Golden Demon. I painted a Tau Ghost Keel this year, which came out okay. Unfortunately, it didn't place as well as I did last year. Last year I made finalist level. This year I came close to making finalist level. I would think I was just one or two spots off from that. But I'm very focused on the hobby side of things. I really like to compete and shoot for things like best overall. Very focused on painting armies to a higher level, competitive painting pieces, and working on just also the competitive 40K in general. So try to be as involved in the hobby as much as I possibly can, and perform as best as I can in both painting and competitive play. Although I should probably choose better armies.
Well, why don't we do that next? What armies do you play, Frank?
Well, my competitive choice for armies right now is really my Thousand Suns. That's where I've spent a lot of time building and painting and hobbying. I'm in the middle right now of building a new display board for it. My first real big display board, so I can try and perform better and at larger events, GTS and majors and stuff like that. So I can compete for best overall, best painted army. Um, and but yeah, primarily my focus is on Thousand Suns. I dabble a bit in Chaos overall in terms of Zinch Demons, a little bit of Chaos Space Marines, but generally I'm focused more towards the Chaos side of things. Also got a basic start to a Chaos Knight army. Um, the other army I have that I play with any regularity would be my Eldari. Eldari was my first army when I first started playing back 15 years ago. I still have them kicking around. I'm actually in the middle of repainting them. Started, got working on them back when us and my local group started a crusade. I wanted to finally do just a fun, casual Wraith army, which I also have a tournament build for, but haven't done much with. But generally speaking, just Thousand Suns. That's my main hobby passion when it comes to the armies.
Nice, nice. No, I have played against those Thousand Suns a lot, and they are a force to be reckoned with. At least as far as my orcs are concerned. Um, I myself tend to play orcs. I've dabbled in Tau, Blood Angels on occasion, and I am currently building up a Votan army because who doesn't like space dwarves? I've got a whole 7 models built, and yeah, it's really going well there.
The trials and tribulations of being a commission painter, always working with people's stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm doing everybody else's stuff while my stuff, a little half-built dwarves are sitting here on my desk. But I'm painting everybody else's stuff. I just finished the Nangron. I got 3 orders for the Lion. I got 3 orders for Azrael coming in. I have an entire Knight Army coming in. It's it's gonna be interesting going forward.
That's awesome. Glad to hear that you have that so much work coming in right now.
Yes.
Real low key, or like a real question is, how soon before you get sick of painting, the half dozen Lionel Johnson models that'll be coming in?
I don't know. Fortunately, my brother got first dibs, so I won't be sick of it yet.
Oh, so your brother gets the best one out of the batch before you just start phoning it in?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
No. Taping never phones it in. No, his stuff is top notch.
Yeah, no, I never. Unless it's like basic troops, I don't usually get too bored of those nice big models.
All right. Apparently, I'm working on my tech priest voice, whatever that means.
What was that?
Reading the chat here from Matt. I'm working on my tech priest voice.
Oh, I think you got a little reverb there.
Oh, well, my streaming setup, unfortunately, right now is very limited. So I am streaming from multiple mobile devices. So if there's any lag or latency in what I'm doing, I apologize. So I hope that it's not too bad.
Yeah, mine. If I'm talking a little weird here and take my headphones off, it's because I can't, for whatever, shut off my microphone. And it really bothers me with the ADHD to be hearing my own voice while I'm talking with a delay. So if I'm going in and out with my headphones, that's why I'm trying to figure out all the audio issues right at the moment. All right. Well, now that we got all that set, and we've introduced ourselves, let's take a look at some nice new models. Speaking of which, we have Mr. Lion. Lion L. Johnson's finally coming into the 40th millennium.
Yeah, it's actually quite exciting. Even as a Chaos player, I've been dying to see them actually push the storyline forward and release a new Imperium Primarch.
I mean, he's like a new Demon Prince for you. He's Chaos. Anyway, but this model is sexy. Look at that.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous. The basing looks fantastic with it. The base options you get, or not base options, but the details in the basing is fantastic. The armor looks fantastic. And the overall aesthetic, I think they nailed it. Definitely looks like a souped up space knight to me.
Yeah, right. Even that backpack, that is ridiculous looking. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Kyle will be very excited, I think. Or he better be anyway. And there's a multitude of heads, and there's been quite an argument on which one is best. The obvious choice is Mr. Helmet head here with the wings. That's the best head.
I don't know if you want to use the word obvious here. I mean, you're definitely allowed to have an opinion.
A correct opinion.
Oh. So I think we're on both ends of the spectrum here. You like the big old winged helmet. I'm a big fan of Old Man Lionel.
Yes, I do like the winged helm the best. I think it goes winged helm for me, and then it's Obi-Wan right here, and then helmet with the hood, and then not Tywin Lannister, because that's pretty much who that is.
Now that you've said that, I can't get that out of my head. I still like that look though. I think that with Rabude always being locked in a stasis field for 10,000 years, but Lionel just taking a big old snooze in the bottom of the rock. I think he'd get a little bit he get a little bit older. So I like the grizzled old man look. I think it adds a lot of character to the model.
So I was a little confused when this first popped up because it was saying that he was asleep, but for the longest time in one of the older codexes, I've always talked to Kyle because he always played Dark Angels. He was in stasis as well. Like the old lore was he was in stasis as well. It seems like they retconned it mostly because they wanted to make him look older, or they just really like Ewan McGregor. But they yeah, they really wanted to age him up, I guess, because yeah, for the longest time he was just in stasis as well.
Was it stasis? I guess it's right. I mean, I can't say that I'm too up on the Dark Angels lore, but if Kyle's saying it, then well, it's got to be true.
I think he's looking at the old, what was it, 3.5 codex and probably the 6th edition. But yeah, the more recent ones apparently put him as asleep. Which was news to me. But man, I can't wait to paint him. All 3 of them.
Hopefully more.
Oh yeah, no. Hopefully more. Hope I get a Vashtor too. That would be cool. I really like a Vashtor. I know I have.
Certain,
go ahead.
Say if a certain other member of our team hasn't already reached out to you about getting one done, he probably will be soon.
Oh no, he has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dom's on board. Don't worry. I would like to paint a Vashtor, and I got 3 Azraels come too.
Oh, nice.
Some from the same 3 people.
Oh, hey.
But no, it's exciting. I'm excited for 10th. I'm excited to see what happens. I want to see these indexes. I want to see how the game's changing. That's going to be a big deal. And going to be at that last major for 9th edition at ACO.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that because don't they typically tend to schedule their releases right around but when they do a summer release, isn't it almost always right around the 4th of July for some reason?
Yeah, something like that. From what I heard, it's going to be the end of June, which would put it in line with when the Horus Heresy came out.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
So hopefully, I'm also hoping that we get Old World by the end of the year. I love Old World. I miss Warhammer Fantasy.
I have never played Warhammer Fantasy. I've dabbled a bit with Age of Sigmar, but never played old Warhammer Fantasy. Although recently I've been trying to get a square-based fix on with games like Conquest.
Well, then we'll have to play when it comes out. I've played. That was actually the game I started with. Was Fantasy. Played Dwarf. Well, no, I started off with Lizardmen, and then I got Dwarves and Skaven. I kind of went nuts in 6th edition. I got a whole mess of armies. Oh, Mark had a question. Have I done a Sanguinius? No, I have not done a Sanguinius yet. No one is send it to him. I like the Sanguinius model, except for he looks like Bill Nye, the Science Guy. And now you can't unsee that.
I've never looked close enough at his face, but I will gladly look that up in later after the stream to figure out if you're correct or not.
Oh, looking it up now.
Oh no. Oh, this is going to be weird.
Wait, no, I went to 40K. 30K. Hooray.
Wouldn't it be under their Hero series?
They don't have a good. Look at his face.
You have to zoom in there a bit for me, if you can. Oh, I don't know.
Kyle got in my head that it looked like Bill Nye the Science Guy. Either way. Yeah, no, I haven't done him yet. I would like to. I haven't actually done any of the Forge World Primarchs. I haven't done any Primarchs, period. Nobody's ever... Oh, no, I did an Angron. My Angron's great. I love it.
Oh, the most recent one that you finished?
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
I actually just got a chance to see that model in person on Monday night. After I got back from Adepticon, Dom rode with me out to Adepticon, and I got a chance to go ahead and check out the Angron model that you painted. It was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Speak of the devil. Yeah, Dom is in the chat right now. Dom, I'll get around to the Seraphon as soon as I can find time between the display board for my Thousand Sons, getting that army finished, and also trying to diversify a bit into, because I want to try and get do a little bit more this year at Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm actually working on a bunch of those models right now, just some quick painting with those just to get them tabletop ready. I will try and find some time for Seraphon at some point in time, hopefully. But like I said, also I mentioned that I'm very interested in painting and working on Conquest, which, I mean, those are orcs riding dinosaurs, so they're kind of Seraphon-ish. We may just have to split the difference.
Speaking of Seraphon, that was another one I wanted to go over. But here is the Angron, at least on my Instagram. I got to post some of these pictures on my website still, but yeah, I enjoyed him.
Your pictures are so good. You're gonna have to teach me how you take your pictures. I can't seem to operate my photo box for crap.
It's been a lot of just messing around with it. Also Miniac, I will say, put out a video on how to take pictures. It was helpful. It was definitely helpful. I made my own light box out of black foam core boards, and I just kind of made it to fit in the space I had, and LED lights with diffusers on them, and went from there. And the rest is kind of in post after you take the pictures, because excuse me, I don't even use Photoshop. I just use the stock Windows one, and it gets it good enough. I pretty much turn the lighting all the way down and turn up the color a little bit, and then put on clarify, make it clearer, and then words are hard. I put a silhouette on it just so you can see the part I'm really want to look at, like how I did it here with the World Eater symbol.
Nice.
Oh, and I love doing the verdigris on this guy. That was so much fun.
So when you do your verdigris, as just a painting question here, are you just using the standard Citadel technical paints for that, or do you do something a little bit different, or do you try your own formula for it?
So normally what I do is I do just use the Nihilic oxide, but I paint the metal to like the top degree that I want it. So whatever color I'm going for, like if it was pristine and new, I get it to that color. Then I pretty much put the verdigris everywhere that would be applicable. I don't put it on everything, but like all the cracks and crevices where it would drip down, stuff like that. And then after that, I go back and you sort of give it a dry brush. You can just highlight it if you want, if you really want to go hard. But I think it looks better. I actually think it looks better when you dry brush it, because it looks more like it was scraped off. Because dry brushing is usually considered such a high level technique. But no, I think it looks a lot better when you dry brush it because it gives it that more scraped off look, especially like on Angron's armor, which is what it's supposed to look like. So you just go back up through the layers you did again with the dry brush and progressively lighter, and then you can line highlight at the end like you normally do. Um, but I think the dry brush gives it that worn look that you want for something like this.
No, I agree entirely. Actually, when I one of my verdigris brass formulas is or bronze formulas is very similar. When it comes to all my metals, if I'm using true metallic metals, unless I'm using a specific product, the Green Stuff World pigments that you can make your own metallic paints out of, I definitely prefer to do mostly dry brushing on my metallics. I think it offers the same effect that you're talking about, being a nice aged look. You can usually get some of the softer transitions that you want while also getting some nice line edge highlighting in at the same time. And great part about true metallic metals is that they don't have the chalkiness to them that some paints get when you're trying to dry brush.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can usually get the same effects out of a lot of stuff. It's just what you prefer. I've always leaned heavily into Citadel just because that's what I've known since I started playing when I was 11. So, and I've got a million of them at this point. But I'm always willing to try out new paints. I just got some. Where's it at? I'm just trying these out. The newer Vallejo game colors. These have been pretty nice so far. I really like the consistency and how they lay on the model so far. I've only got a couple, but so far so good.
Nice.
Definitely would recommend. Another thing, I'm just gonna get in a tangent. Anyway, but yes, that Angron, if anybody wants a closer look, can look on my Instagram at TayJayPaints, where it actually has a lot of all of my progress, everything I'm working on. I try to post every day if I can. Sometimes it's once things have been finished, but this is just usually my daily like progress report. um, but yeah, I just finished up some more Immortals, some Tesla Immortals. Um, a little D&D miniature, a Plasmancer, Ophidian Destroyers. I have a big Necron commission working on. We had a snow day the other day, and my pupper Russet, he was painting.
Oh,
So
yeah, I saw the picture. That was cute.
that was important. He's a good boy. I had a test model for some Imperial Fist. This was fun. I actually have a lot more fun painting yellow than most people do for some reason. Um, but
Do you tend to use the pink trick for starting to build up your yellows?
So I've tried that. I've tried the pink trick a bunch over and over again. It really doesn't seem to work very well with me. I don't know why, but I do. What did I use the last time? I used like a Tuskor fur color from below instead, which is like this like pinkish brown. No, that's not that one. Where'd it go? Here it is. Like it's hard to see in the thing, but like a Tuskor fur. That's like a pinkish brown, and it comes out a little better. At least I think.
I don't have the ability to show the picture for it, but I actually I know a lot of people like to use the pink trick for when they're airbrushing, but I actually did some hand brushing with that, and I used pink as the base. If you remember my Spawn Squad, I call them the Fruit Loops.
Yes, I love that squad.
So the bright yellow one, which I'll have to work on trying to send some. I'll have to work on building up a site that I can show. So if I refer to anything I painted, that I can get some links and pictures up to. But I painted that one. I started that one with a just hand painting out pink base. I think I used like a screamer pink or something similar to that. One that the lower value, more desaturated pinks as the base color, and I built up from there. And I used the Screamer Pink as the shade color for that, and that came out really well. I was very happy with it.
Nice. I like when the techniques work.
Yeah. Actually, just circling back a bit to your the conversation we're having about verdigris, have you ever tried using any oil paints for washes and technical effects like that?
I have not. I haven't. So I've only really used what's it called? I got it behind me. Oh, the AK interactive like streaking grime. I've used that actually.
Mhm.
Specifically on this one. Streaking
Well,
grime is on here.
I can tell you from very personal experience because I did a lot of weathering on that Tau Ghost Keel, and when I was doing the basing for it, I wanted to have a mix of different metals. I wanted to have uh, I did like a ferrous or an iron door that I did some rust effects on, and then for some of the girders and other metalworks that are there, I wanted them to look like brass or bronze. So I did a verdigris on those, and thanks to our good buddy Sam Lucidi, who has been preaching oil paint usage for such a long time, I was at Michael's one day and I saw a Winsor Newton oil paint set that had like 40, 20 colors, excuse me, in it. And what sold me on getting it and trying it out was there was this really bright turquoise. It was the exact same color as neolac oxide. That's it. That's the exact set right there. Um, so these you can see. I don't know if you can see it in there. Is that one the? I think there's a. I don't see a turquoise in that one, but it's the same type of set. I apologize for looking down off to the side because I'm looking. For me to have a tool screen setup, I have to have my phone set up here on the side. But the set just like that had a turquoise color in it, a really nice bright turquoise color, and that was the best technical wash I've ever used in terms of having rust effects and oxide effects.
Hmm. Okay, I'll have to give it a try at some point. I'm so nervous.
That's the best part about it is even if you feel like you've screwed up on it because you can just use a Q-tip or a cotton sponge or a makeup sponge or a little bit of white spirits, you can just wipe all the work you did right off of it.
Now, do you normally gloss varnish before you do that? I've heard you should gloss varnish before using these.
I've only used mine for weathering. I haven't done any washes on models aside from pin washing, where I've just used black oil paint, black oil wash for doing panel lining. That's also a treat too. It's also fun because when you just tap the brush into a panel line and it just runs all over the place.
Mm.
Um, Makes me giggle like a schoolgirl every time I see it because I don't have to pin wash all that by hand. Um, but in terms of an all-over wash, if you wanted to just slap some oil wash onto a model, and you wanted to then do a wipe away after that, I definitely would recommend at least a satin varnish, if not a full gloss varnish.
Because I had not to keep referring back to my Instagram, everybody follow me. This guy with a pain, what was this, a Thunderbolt? Yeah, the Thunderbolt. So this kept peeling over and over again, but I eventually got it. I did have to gloss varnish it. So it came out good. I had to paint it twice.
No, it looks really good. I love the window effects on that one. Such a nice bright focal point to see on that model like that.
Oh yeah, he didn't want them clear, so I was just like, all right, let me try something.
I'm actually a big fan of painting canopies myself. I've done that for a few of got a few of my Eldar Graph tanks, especially when you realize that when you paint the canopy over, you don't have to bother putting together the pilot and painting the pilot. Liberating experience.
Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna be doing that for my Votan specifically because I think the land they all have those big like dome canopies.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make them look like bronze. I'm gonna make them bronzed over so they look like kind of futuristic
Oh, cool.
visors, like the
Nice.
sun filters that you get on astronaut spacesuits.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. I know exactly what you're going for. Yeah.
That's yeah. You know, obviously they have a full hug going in there, but you know, from the outside you can't see it, so it's fine. I totally painted it on the inside.
I believe you. I believe
Yeah.
you.
But yeah. Oh, this was still one of my favorites. Anyway, Let's
Oh
see.
yeah, that guy's actually that model, specifically the Mazrog version, is on my list of models to get painted up for competition piece. It's such a great piece.
Oh yeah. There's hard armor, there's lots of organics in there,
Hmm.
and it's just a fantastic model. There's bone, there's claws, there's metal,
Yeah, all the different textures you can paint in there for a lot of great contrast opportunities.
there's drool.
There is drool. Now, is that drool that you added through like an Uhu glue effect, or is that something that's actually on the model?
That's actually on the model.
Oh, interesting.
This little bit. I put gloss varnish on the inside of the mouth to, obviously make it look more wet, but more moist because everybody likes the word moist. Um, but yeah, this little piece is actually a plastic bit. I don't think the Maserog one has it because the squig head is different.
Oh, that's just
Um,
a modeling choice at that point in time.
oh yeah, but yeah, it's one of my favorites. Anyway, let's go back to some of these new models. Um, Now they finally put out more Age of Sigmar, Cities of Sigmar, which these are just Bretonnian men at arms.
There's a
Um,
lot of. I mean, I don't know too much about the line, but I heard a little bit of controversy over the design of these guys. Like there was a lot of the uniqueness was taken out of them, something to that effect. Have you heard anything along those lines?
I haven't heard anything specifically. I mean, I don't really pay too much attention on the Age of Sigmar. Like I pay cursory attention, but I haven't heard any drama around it really.
Okay.
Um, I just noted they are trying to replace all the old sets from Fantasy that were like the old Empire models that came out in like 6th edition. So I'm cool with new models, and it looks like they'll fit on a square base for when Old World comes out.
Yeah, no, I have to admit that they're, as far as just being the human faction in Sigmar, they look very good.
Yes. So I mean, that's not all of them. Obviously, this is just they're just previewing, kind of like how they've been previewing Old World. So I'll have to find that. But yeah, we got new Ossiarchs, which are the
Oh,
guys made of bone. These have so much was it open space in them? I love it. Negative
yeah,
space.
I love I do love the OBR faction. They're if I wasn't so into the idea of doing Seraphon for Age of Sigmar, OBR would be the choice I would go with. Because they have that Egyptian theme to them. I've definitely been thinking about picking up some of their models to convert into use on my Thousand Suns. Specifically, I don't know the name of the unit, so forgive me if for not knowing it. But there's the miniatures. They come on a 50 mil base, and which is the same size as the spawn. The units have like 3 heads, and they have
Oh, I know
more.
which ones you're talking about.
Yeah, I was thinking about picking up a set of those guys to convert into new Chaos Spawn for my army.
No, that wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Let's see. I'm gonna try and look them up while we look at these other ones. Let's see. And then the vampires. Now they really wanted the vampires to be Russian for some reason. Nothing wrong with Russian like look, but just they really wanted them to be Russian.
What does she have going on? Does she have like bird legs, or is it like a wolf leg?
I think they're
Or
like wolf legs. The vampires all turn into bats and wolves.
mm-hmm.
So that seems to be the theme they're going with.
Okay. Um, yeah, it's a really cool model. The I just imagine that the all those bats though, I'd be so nervous about the bats breaking off.
Oh, these are the ones you were looking at, right?
Yes, no, that's the unit.
Yeah, these are cool. Huge.
I think that they would fit well in a Thousand Suns army because not only is there Chaos Spawn, of course, but I could imagine, Thousand Suns creating constructs to use in battle, kind of like golems.
Hmm. Yeah, those. I like the axe. The axe. I didn't see the axe before. The axe looks really cool, and yeah, those bats would break off easy. The guy would break them.
Yeah, I believe her fluff for that particular unit was that she's a supposed to be a monster hunter. So her deal is that she'll again, not too up on the lore, but I was there at the preview, and is either Mike Brandt or Eddie Eccles was explaining that her lore is that she likes to just kind of run off into the woods and hunt big monsters and chop their heads off.
Hmm. Well, that's a job.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, listen, especially for Age of Sigmar, JW's models have been hitting it out of the park. Age of Sigmar has, like, listen, I've been playing 40K, it's what I play, but like, Age of Sigmar has been hitting it out of the park with the models, and they have the best models. Sorry, not sorry.
No, no, you're telling the truth. You're definitely telling the truth. I think that they have a little more creative license though. With they can just keep creating more fantastical elements in the fantasy setting, like Age of Sigmar, where Warhammer 40K, with it being grounded a bit more in technology, they're probably a little bit constrained in terms of what they can do, with the exception of Chaos, which
Yeah,
with the more um, expressive units, they just they have that ability to blend the line between 40K and Sigmar, like the new Demon Prince model, which is absolutely fantastic.
oh, absolutely. Um, yeah, except for this guy. I don't like the Bat Centaur. He looks bad. But it's a thing, I guess. Um, but yeah, no, the centerpiece models, especially in Sigmar, are just better. 40K's gotten better, significantly better. Look at Angron, look at the Lion, but like the Lion doesn't match the scale of like um Orc on Punch Dragon. Like,
Hmm.
sorry, Orc on Punch Dragon is better.
I mean, well, just
Ne-
was I don't even I'm not sure if it's just a unit or if it's an actual hero in Age of Sigmar. Just the one Sigmarine. Sorry, the one Stormcast. I keep on calling them Sigmarines,
they
but
are. They're Sigmarines.
the one Stormcast Eternal model with the giant wings, and he's floating up on the air. The all the um, what's the word I'm looking for here?
I know which one you're talking about. The
Um,
ethereal
par- all the parchment papers, like the kind of like they look like giant purity seals. I think it's
Celestin
called
Prime. This guy.
yes, yeah. I mean, you're it's so rare to see like a 40K model. It's going to be that dynamic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got that chunky old cast kind of look. But I mean, it's definitely still a cool looking model. I
Yeah,
do
that
love
model.
the slimmer Stormcast now.
Yeah, that model was like I love that model so much that when I was converting my own Demon Prince for my Thousand Sons, I stole that model's wings.
Oh, then all the wings from like the Venators and all their flying units in the Stormcasts are great, especially if you use them for blood, like Blood Angels or something.
Mm. Oh, if you
Ooh,
scroll
Mark
back,
Mc.
I love the one Stormcast that's doing the hero pose as he's slamming down onto the ground.
Oh yeah, he does. He does the superhero landing.
Yeah,
Where is he at? I just had him up. I just saw him. Oh,
I
whatever.
think you're just down. There he is. Oh, back up, back up, back up. He's right in the middle. I'm so sorry. I'm seeing with a little bit of a delay. So
Yeah, it's okay.
um, he's right above that Griffin Rider. Like there you are. Ah, you keep going past him.
How am I passing him? I'm bad at this.
He's on the far right side. Okay, so the
Oh, there
vendor.
he is. Okay,
Yeah.
Guard of Steel Soul. This guy, this dude. Yeah, he's pretty much just doing the superhero pose. Or is that a girl? No, it's a. Mm, I don't know. It might be a lady. Whatever. They're all lightning. I don't know if they specifically have genders. Uh, they're all made of lightning. It's fine. So anyway, but yes, that I love that they made this model like that. They knew how ridiculous that it was, and they did it anyway. But I know you were talking about Seraphon, and well, I am so happy. Like I said, this was my first fantasy army, so like the fact that they finally redid the Cold One Riders and they don't
Hmm.
look like the stupidest thing ever is amazing to me.
Yeah, no, I more Aztec lizardmen riding around on dinosaurs, the better.
Like it doesn't look like the hand is a nub with spikes shooting out of the front, the top, the side, and the bottom. Like they look like actual creatures. Um, as a dinosaur guy, though, I don't like the wrists. All dinosaurs had their hands facing in like this, and it bothers me. But otherwise, it looks great. I realize they're fake dinosaurs. They never actually existed, but whatever, leave me alone.
Yeah, well, I mean, not everyone's as much of a paleontology nerd as we are,
Yes.
because they're going to go with that look because that's what they did in Jurassic Park. So
I know. They even have the raptor claws. Um, but no, these look amazing. I again, as a Seraphon player, as a Lizardman player, I love Seraphon. I love what they did with these new models. I'm so glad they didn't get rid of this race.
yeah, no, I think it's definitely when I get the opportunity to work with Age of Sigmar. I already have a Seraphon starter set. Plus, I think I've got 2 boxes of the old Saurus Warriors. I originally bought them for use in a Lizardmen based D&D campaign. Oh, those new Croxigors are so
I
amazing too.
Dude, I have a bunch of the old like fifth, fourth edition Croxigors, and Croxigors have always been my favorite unit in this army. And plastic Croxigors just make me so happy.
Ugh. Yeah, I think I think the Croxigors. I mean, to me, I always love the variety of well, now the new variety of all the models riding around on the cold ones, the Raptor models. But I got to admit, those Croxigor, especially the more elite Croxigor, the one that are supposed to be super extra angry with
Oh
the
yeah,
red
these
stripe.
the
Oh God,
Croxigor War Spawned or whatever.
yeah, those are they're just amazing.
They're Axe Club things with giant dinosaur teeth. Yeah, no, they're awesome. And I like that they actually look like crocodiles and
Hmm.
alligators.
Yeah, no, it's a home run in terms of the army design and the army aesthetic overall. And for me, I always love pulp fictiony feeling things, and nothing gets more pulpy than Aztec lizardmen riding around on dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, and I love the new Slan. I have every incarnation of Slan. I have two of the old ones. I have one of the metal ones from like 6th edition fantasy, and I want to get this new one.
I will admit that for as much as I love the Seraphon in general, I've never been a huge fan of the Slan models. Although the new one that they came out with all of the stonework orbiting around it like an orrery, that
Oh,
is
Croak.
yeah.
Yeah, no, he's sick. I love him. I love that the new Source Warriors are like way more dynamic, and the skinks riding over raptors. Kyle thinks they look stupid. I don't care what Kyle thinks.
The I've never been a big fan of skinks, but I will admit that those I like the to get just a bit nerdier here. I like how when they came about with designing the different cavalry units, that despite the fact that they're all supposed to be resembling dromaeosaurs, that the larger ones definitely have that look and feel of being more along the lines of like a Deinonychus or a Utah Raptor style.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dinosaur, where the skink ones have that more stronger bird-like quality that would be akin to an actual real velociraptor, not the ones you see in Jurassic Park.
Right, right. The skink ones look like they're faster. Like straight
Hmm.
up look like they're faster. They look like Oviraptor. Um,
Yeah, Oviraptor is a great example of that.
they, they just don't have a beak, but they just remind me of them because of the feathers, I guess. And they actually have their hands oriented correctly.
There's one more tick in the positive box for those skink raptor riders.
Oh yeah. But yeah, they look great. Like the Scarvet on one. What are these things called? Agrodons, rage dinosaurs. Sure, whatever. Um, yeah, they even like look at the closed face. It looks like a Jurassic Park raptor.
Straight up, it does. At least they did put some feathers on the back, unless those are just feathers that are bolted on with the armor. Is the actual dinosaur itself feathered, or is it just
No, it's
part of their
it's
parting?
it's just on the end of the tail, the little
Oh,
ring. You can see it. But whatever. Listen, these are fantasy dinosaurs, so they'll do what they want.
fair enough.
I just, get annoyed at broken wrists. But the new Salon looks great. The new what was it? The new Salamander. I love the new Salamander. And I'm hoping they show new like base skinks soon. Like I want the new base skinks.
Mm.
Because the old skinks are old.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't spent. I don't own too many skinks. Actually, I don't own any skinks at all. Not even from the little bit of underworlds that I own. So yeah, I can agree with you. They're definitely just a bit too cartoony.
Oh yeah. And I always loved Lizardmen because I love that there was like they were all different species,
Hmm.
but just working together under, the salon for the greater purpose, the greater good. Um,
We don't talk about the greater good in this
the
channel.
greater good. But no, that was always my favorite part was that they had different species. There's even different subspecies of skinks with the chameleons. There's the saurus, the skinks, the croxagore. Just love it. Always one of my favorite races. Then let's go over. So this was more kill team. So 40k light. And we got some new Votan.
Oh yeah, this okay. So the new Votan in general look very cool, but the one model in particular, which I'm kind of hoping. Now I'm
To the
not
knuckle
in love with
duster.
Votan. The Knuckle Duster guy is really cool. But the one model that I think I'm hoping for Votan in general is actually just a general preview of a new unit that's going to be coming out. Is the dude with the jump pack?
Yeah, this guy. He's sick.
Uh, there's something both equally amusing and terrifying about space dwarves with jump packs.
I don't understand. What's wrong?
uh, I mean, Chthonian berserkers are already as much of a terror as they are. Just imagine them faster.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I mean, the codex that we got was obviously just the first wave. They're going to be out quickly in the new edition from what I heard. So like going to get another sweeping round of new models.
I think they said I don't. Well, not that GW said. I don't know if it was GW. If I'm just mixing rumors. Hopefully not. But I think sometime around September. I think they're planned for a release or the next big wave.
Oh, good. So the old codex will be a year old. I realize all the codexes are getting thrown out in like 3 months anyway, but still, I was just like, oh, we could have just released it all at once.
Well, thankfully now, if with the new index system that they're going to have at least for a little while, um, it seems like we're going to be in a good position for a lot of more live rules, more living updates. So I'm sure we'll talk about that more as we get into our 10th edition discussion. But um,
God, I hope
I
so.
What's that?
I said, God, I hope so.
Well, I know there's a lot of talk about the codices, and there was a Q&A session at the end of the Warhammer preview that I'm not sure if they covered when they were doing the live show. But again, Mr. Brand and Eddie Eccles were discussing what the future of codices are going to be like. So I can try and relate the information that I got from that. But it's interesting what they're going to be doing going forward. But at least, in the very least, you'll always be able to play your armies for free with real rules and even competitively, just maybe not fully optimized.
Yeah. Then we got the new Terminators,
Yes,
which
I
are
am
just
happy with them.
taller.
I like what they did with the lore, though. Finally, they kind of realized that, if we have 12-foot tall Space Marine armor, versus, 8 to 10-foot tall, Space Marines, you know what? We can just let Primaris use these.
Yeah. Like it just, plus they kind of wanted to save face with the eventual phase out of Firstborn Marines that we all know is coming.
Yeah, I'm grateful that they didn't try and release new Primaris Terminators, because that also it still allows people who have an old Terminator collection to be able to use them however they want, and they don't have to worry about any type of rules jank.
Yeah. Because I wasn't looking forward to painting another like 30 Deathwing Terminators for my brother. I probably will anyway, but not the point.
Well, just break them off the base, put a little bit of slate underneath it, make them half an inch taller, and there you go.
They're
Well,
already taller, as it's fine. I put them all on the street bases, so they're like lifted off by like I don't know, quarter of an inch,
oh yeah, okay,
whatever a cork sheet is, like maybe an
yep, I
eighth of
got
an
you.
inch. They're taller.
Yeah, but are they going to have that new snazzy, launchable from orbit homing beacon?
No,
I mean, obviously you're going to have to paint 30 or 40 more Deathwing Terminators just so you can have the new homing beacon.
listen, when they get a new Deathwing Terminator kit, I'll think about it. And he pays me. No. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Dom, rip the World Eaters Codex. It was a good 3 months.
yeah.
And
I
Mark, I
saw
saw
one
your.
of those memes with death that was like it was the World Eaters Codex asking, "Was I a good Codex?" That's just like, who are you?
Oh no, it was the Guard Codex, and was I a good Codex? And he was like, I don't know. I literally played like 3 games.
Ugh, so funny. Listen, there would have been a riot if the indexes weren't free this time because the cycle is really annoying.
Yeah.
I
Well,
really want them to be like 5-year long editions like it used to be. I mean, with them all coming out, and then we can get a meta that lasts a little longer. But
they would need. I think for them that to work, because they have. I think it has a lot to do with what their product cycle is, because they've got 3 main games right now with 40K Age of Sigmar, and now Horus Heresy. I think is their third major game. If they were able to get one of the Lord of the Rings games to kind of launch off as being like a core or major game, then I think realistically we could see a 4-year cycle. But I think they need that 3-year cycle so that they can have a major release happening every single year.
yeah, I don't know. I just remember having the 5-year ones back in like fourth and fifth edition, and it was like it didn't feel like when the last codex came out like it was useless. You know what I mean? Because you at least had a good amount of time with it. I don't know.
I get the feeling, but then the opposite side of that is, Dark Eldar, who got stuck with the same codex for 20 years.
True. Well, they're also releasing codexes a lot faster now. I don't know what they were doing back then. It was really annoying. I remember having my Orc codex for 3 editions. It was great. And then it ended up being better than the 7th edition of codex because that thing was terrible.
Uh,
It
I'll have
made
to
me
take
not
your word
play
for
for
that
2
one.
years.
Now, just Mark, I see you're posting in there talking about the new termagants. I'm pretty sure we'll be getting to the little bit of the Tyranid preview we had too in a little bit here.
Yes. I'm just kind of going through some stuff here, Mark. I'll gotta get around to them. No worries, because they are also very pretty. I was happy that Tyranid like base troops were going to get an update. That was definitely needed. That was very needed. I
Not
can't wait
looking
to see
for
what the new like Gene Stealers are going to look like and Hormigons.
Yeah, those new termagants when we get to them, I'm gonna love talking about them because there's so much. Just they look the same, but there's so much little extra detail added, and it's so appreciative.
Oh, absolutely. Trying to pull them up. Hang on. My stuff is low adding. Boom. They actually look, like a decent size, which is funny because they're about the same size, but like they just look bulkier.
They look bulkier. They look more aggressive. They actually look like something that you would be actually scared of to see in a dark alley, running
Mm-hmm.
at you.
They still have the
Uh,
derp smiles.
what's that?
They still have the derp smiles.
uh, I don't know. Every time I see a zoanthrope, I have to giggle because they always look like they have the big grins, like the
Uh-huh.
malignant grin.
I am so interested to see what some of those new big bugs are too, because those were ridiculous looking, and I love them.
So actually, I was just I'm not too. Obviously the various Tyranid bioforms. If you put them in front of me, I can usually I can point out a Turvagon versus a Tyrannifex versus a Venomthrope versus a Neurothrope. Having played enough 40K over the years, you learn the models. But um, did you see anything, or maybe if Mark, who's watching along here with us, did you see anything in the trailer that made you go, "Huh, that's different," or "That's new"? I have no idea what that is.
This thing.
Well, that obviously was different because that was very showcased. Are those going to be just potentially new um, neurothropes or zoanthropes, or are they going to be just a whole different unit entirely?
Well, those look like they're spores, kind of. They don't look like they have a face or a body. They just look like they're a brain floating around. Whereas this big zoanthrope thing, it has a body at least. These look like they're like zoanthrope spores kind of thing. You understand what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah, Mark is saying that it's an OG neurothrope look.
Huh.
Hmm.
Interesting.
I mean, either way, if they're going to be new zoanthrope models or just a new neurothrope, because I don't think there's a neurothrope model in particular. They just kind of have to use a zoanthrope, correct?
It's an upgrade in the zoanthrope box. There is a separate model for it. It's a different um there's extra parts in the zoanthrope box.
Okay.
It's sort of like how you have custodes and you can make the captain out of one of them, which bothers me because then you have an uneven amount.
Yeah, that would bother the crap out of me too.
Um, but yeah, they're the screamer killer, which is I think that's what this is showing right here is a screamer killer. Um, was in there too, like an old school screamer killer, and it was even standing up, not like a Carnifex normally does. Like, and the mouth was in the center. Like it, I'm excited.
Yeah, there. I know when we first saw the trailer, because Dom was with me when we saw it live at Adepticon. We were trying to figure out what some of the bioforms were, and people were talking about it being a screamer killer, and I think a screamer killer is just a form of Carnifex. So I wonder if that means just a general new Carnifex kit overall.
Maybe. So the Screamer Killian was the Carnifex back in like
Mhm.
second edition. There wasn't a distinction. It was the Screamer Killer. And then like I believe the third edition 3.5 codex came out and it was a separate entity, the Carnifex. Whenever the plastic kit came out, it was a separate thing called the Carnifex, and the Screamer Killer was like a variant of it. So
Okay.
now, and then more recent codexes, they've made it its own thing, but I think they're giving it back its own model. I love that model, the Screamer Killer model.
The only thing I got into an argument over with somebody, not even an argument, more of a discussion, was the somebody I was talking to was insisting that the model that they had shown with the winged model was a Shrike. I'm like, that there's no way that's a Shrike. It's way too large to be a Shrike.
That's
It
what
was
my
ripping
brother
it.
was saying.
Well,
Was that it was a Shrike? I don't know. I do have a hard time thinking they're going to put out a new Wing Tyrant model. That one's still it still looks great and it's fairly recent, so I don't really think they're going to be putting out a new like Tyrant model. Just my
well,
opinion.
I've seen, they have cycled through some models pretty quickly.
No, they
There was
have.
a I can't think of there was one model range or one model kit that was only out for I'm gonna say for less than 10 years, which is practically the blink of an eye for Games Workshop. That they replaced it, they upgraded the kit not too long ago. Um, so I mean, they have done it in the past where they've cycled through a plastic kit relatively quickly. Um, but when we're talking about them, like that Hive Tyrant, which I'm pretty sure was a Hive Tyrant, was ripping a Terminator in half. And if you go back, if you assume that they did scaling correctly in a lot of their trailers, Lieutenant Titus was ripping the head off of a Tyranid warrior, and a Shrike is basically supposed to be a winged warrior. So there's no way the size scale would be that different between a Shrike and a warrior, and
Mm.
as far as I know.
Well, I'm hoping they bring back Shrikes in general, by the way. But yeah, it might be a Tyrant. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, they're going to be the starter set race, obviously. So, I mean, we should know sooner than later.
I wonder if, because I know that when our group in particular, our local group, was talking a lot about, we were expecting the 10th edition, announcement and preview to happen next month in the at Warhammer Fest. So I wonder if Warhammer Fest is going to be the actual big preview for the new 10th edition starter set.
Probably. I am interested to see the other new Marine stuff that come out with too, because it looked like in that preview there was also a new Terminator, maybe Primaris Terminator Librarian. This guy,
Oh
that was
yes,
fighting
yeah,
the big brain bug.
yep, and then promptly got his butt whooped like they should.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Um, you just happen to be born with psychic powers. He was evolved specifically to have psychic powers. You should probably die to him.
Probably.
Um, but yeah, that looked new. I don't know.
Uh,
There
I,
was combi
I think
bolter
there was
guys, so it looked like Stern Guard.
I think there was a confirmation that there was going to be a new Terminator librarian. I'm not. I'm, I want to say that the preview during the Q&A that they talked about, there definitely would be a new Terminator librarian that's going to be coming out. I'm not sure if they got previewed anywhere else though. Like a picture of the model.
Right, right. There was a lot of combi weapon marines. Oh, excuse me. There's a lot of Marines with combi weapons, which makes me think Stern Guard, like Primaris Stern Guard, which is a shame because the current Stern Guard models are gorgeous. Um, but like you can see, where is it? This guy, because he's got the combi flamer. Um, and
Oh, I know them. I know the model you're talking about. Yeah, I think that was supposed to be a new unit in general. I think they were calling them, with following their clever naming system of just put an I in the front and an OR at the end. I think they were called incinerators.
yeah, that's a weapon in the Grey Knights. And then the Dreadnought's getting more arms, which we knew was coming. We knew the Dreadnought was going to get more arms. It's just bigger las cannons and missile launchers as opposed to the old box knots.
Is that a Redemptor in the trailer? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it's got the curved front that the
Okay.
Redemptors have. They like went out of their way to make it look like a box knot, but it's a Redemptor.
Okay.
It looks like a Redemptor-sized dreadnought armed with twin las cannons and a missile launcher. So, remember, if the Marines don't have something, Call just makes it because we ignore all the old lore where they're scared of new inventions. Anyway, but yes, I'm excited to see the new Marine stuff. I'm sure all the Marine players, all 5 million of them, are excited for new Marine stuff for an even larger codex. But no, it all looks cool. The models are going to be great. I can't wait to paint some of them.
No, like I said, I'm not even a Marine player, and I know the old trope is that you get sick and tired of seeing new Marines coming out all the time. But range refreshes, they don't bother me so much. But I think it is exciting. At least I think it's more the excitement of 10th edition coming up that has me kind of like glossing over the fact that there's new Marine models coming out.
Oh yeah. No, I love the new edition has me excited again. So
Oh, Golden Demon 2023. What a
so
fun time.
Nerf gun Marines suck. Card had a lot of Card had like 3 models. He had his old model where he's just kind of up in the air, and then he had the newer model that was metal, and then he has the current plastic one. I think he's only had 3. There was probably one in like or second edition that was Karn, but it was just a different sculpt of Berserker or something. They did that a lot back then, or retroactively did that for some reason. This model makes me question my life choices because Jesus. Because I did that model a while ago and he doesn't look that good. Although I did really love how my face came out on this guy. I think there we go.
I think you did a fantastic job with your. Well, I probably as we get near the end of after reviewing all the models, I'll talk about if there's time about the feedback that I did get and the expectation that somebody should probably have if they're going to be entering a competition like this in terms of how much time they should be dedicating based on the piece that they're doing. But the model that model that Neil Hall has painted, I've seen everything that you're showing here. I've seen in person at Adepticon this year, and the amount of work that they did was absolutely fantastic. And that model in particular is just was absolutely amazing, and I think very deserving of the Slayer Sword this year.
Yeah, that one is upsettingly good.
For me, the part that I am at most in awe of, and this is where I'm actually starting to learn. I've never really been very big on weathering, so weathering is the new tactic and technique that I'm trying to learn with. And on his the that's not the his Terminator honors, the shield on his left
Yeah, the
shoulder.
little shield. Yeah.
To me, the most impressive thing on that is that's the part that has just a little bit of weathering, and just how how small the weathering effects are, but how much of a big impact they have on the model.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous. It's ridiculous.
So yeah, that model in particular just has tiny little bits of detail. Everything is done. Every single, you know, millimeter of that model is done to a high standard, and that's really one of the biggest things that's so important with Golden Demon entries is that every single piece, every single square millimeter of the model needs to be done to a high standard. And when you're entering into these Golden Demon in particular, what tends to get you kicked out of the top spots is, of course, assuming that your painting skills up to that technical level. What tends to get you kicked out is just who has who wins the model that has the least amount of mistakes in it.
Yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, Games Workshop is still continuing the trend of taking poor quality pictures of their models. Um, I am a huge fan of that Jagatai Khan model that Alexander DeSantos painted. Um,
Yeah, that's nuts.
what makes it sad is that you can't see clearly the mural that is painted on that guy's cloak in the back.
Oh, I saw a picture of it and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it was probably the picture that I shared with you. I don't know if you have the ability to pull up because I sent you. I posted a bunch of pictures of my favorite picks from all the Golden Demon entries that really caught my attention, and I got four
Oh,
pictures of him. And they would be up on our Discord. I don't know if you have those available to you, but the that model is just so impressive, and it's just a wonderful piece of art. Especially taking into account all the mural that's painted on the guy's cloak on the back.
yes, hang on.
Now, for the pictures that I took, I had to take them through the glass case. So if there's any odd reflections, I apologize. But it was the best I was able to do in the short amount of time because the Golden Demon booth or area is always so packed with people. You can't sit there and appreciate your models for too long unless you decide to circle back around like around 2 or 3 in the morning when there's only a handful of people there.
Right. See if this comes up. There we go.
Yeah, that's
Thank you, Dom. Dom sent me the picture.
oh, there
But
you go.
yeah, no, that is intense.
It's very reminiscent of, to me, of Japanese style basic ink arts or ink paintings.
Yeah. No, that's crazy looking. I love it. Let's see.
I think what's funny is when I was posting in our Discord talking about it, I said that that model is going to at least pull silver, and it did pull
Mhm.
silver exactly.
Nice. And then the squads. This was your friend, right? Mohammed.
So yes, so he is a friend I made at the con last year, and I happened to come across him again this year. And somebody that is just a great person overall. He runs his own paint studio and online painting channel like you do, we're building. The only trouble is that he is from France, so almost everything he does is in French. But he does have an English side to it. It's a Mohand Art. Yeah, all one word is his channel and his setup. Um, he's the person that actually gave me. He's an instructor for Adepticon, and he's the person who actually gave me a lot of the feedback I got for my piece, which really was the most helpful feedback I've ever gotten for that entry, and probably prepped me the best for succeeding more next year.
Nice. Well, he's clearly very talented. These look insane. They're Corsairs, right? These are the Corsairs.
Yes,
Nice. They look great.
I love the color palette too. It's such a bright, dynamic color, but doesn't seem to like slap you in the face with the combination of turquoise, cyan, and magenta.
Never get enough turquoise. Nobody ever does turquoise. I love turquoise and teal. You don't get enough of those.
Turquoise is my favorite color in the world to work with. I work turquoise into nearly everything that I paint, with the exception of the ghost scale. That was mostly blues and blue grays. But turquoise is my absolute favorite color to work with, which is ironic considering that I painted my Thousand Suns army with red and gold as opposed to turquoise and gold.
Hmm. No, yeah. I have a lot of I know a lot of people who are like, nobody uses turquoise enough. And then they don't paint in turquoise. But
I love turquoise because you can do so much with it. I think, no, it's cyan. Cyan is considered to be a true primary color, but turquoise is close enough to it. Um, you can blend it so well into purples. You could, um, with blacks, we blend, we mix turquoise with blacks and desaturate it out with some black. You can do some just gorgeous natural feeling black armor. I love edge highlighting black or turquoise. You can mix green with it, and you can create a brighter color, which adds a lot of warmth to it.
yes. No, I love it. Um well,
Uh,
now we're going to shift to something that's a bit more primary in color.
so that model was very interesting to see in person. And again, I just wish they took a picture from a different angle. I have another photo of that I posted again in our Discord. I don't know if Dom has it at his fingertips, but the iconography work on that is the most impressive thing I've seen, especially on his, which would be his right shoulder pad, the checkerboard pattern that he did, which was I can't tell if it's a transfer. I can't. It's the edges on it are so sharp that if you told me it was a transfer, I could believe it. But if you also told me he painted it on there, I would also believe it because you cannot tell at all. It's the best iconography work I've ever seen.
Yeah. That it I'm trying to find a picture, sorry. I think I found it. There we go. I just love the different position of the model. It looks like it's actually trying to run forward instead of the normal knight stance of planted feet.
Right. There's a lot of dynamism and a lot of movement to the model. Um, there's a story to be told with that model.
Whoa. Yeah, there's the yeah, that's impressive. You can't even tell that that's like him hand painting it. It looks like it could have been a decal, but it's not.
I think another great point, or something else that you can walk away from this model, is that um, you do not have to cover a model in non-metallic metal to have a winning entry. Really well executed true metallic metal paints can also do super well if you take your time to work with them like you would, say, um, a non-metallic metal. If you put the same amount of time and effort with your true metallics, you can easily come up with a really gorgeous effect.
Oh yeah, I don't. Most of the time, I like true metallics better. Non-metallic is just like a style to me. It's just I usually like real metallics better, just because it reflects the light like it naturally should, not just from like you're looking at it from the one angle and this is where the light source is. It just I don't know, just me, my opinions.
I think it also depends on the scale of the miniature too. Trying to do um, the uh, trying to do non-metallic metals on a model of that scale and to make it still feel realistic, it would be tough. Works very well for the smaller scale models, of course, because the blending. You have much more control over what position and posing you're seeing them in. But I think for those larger scale models like the Titans or the Knights, excuse me, the true metallics are, if you know how to use your true metallics well, they work better on that scale.
Yeah, I think they work a lot better on that scale. I agree because it's just I don't know, it feels too big to have the non-metallic with the lighting and such. I don't know. I'm I'm
Even the ever famous Vince Venturella, he did the Slanesh Night, which unfortunately he didn't position this year. His Slanesh Chaos Night was all done with True Metallics, and it looked super dope.
nice. What we got here? We got a penitent engine. Working on a
Yep,
couple of these right now, actually. I
Colin,
might
I didn't think that's I think one of Colin's four Golden Demons. He won three or four Golden Demons this year, and I think this was just like the first one that he won. He won so many.
how do you have time to do this and make it look that good? Jeez.
Yeah, you'll see Colin Eidenschink's name coming up very often as you're going through these entries. That Ultramarines Dreadnought was absolutely fantastic to see in person too. The scripting work on it was gorgeous. I can't tell if it was a transfer if he hand painted it, but again, I guess that's the point.
So many of these are so cool looking.
Yeah, no, the large model entries were very cool. I didn't get much time to spend with the large model entries, so I did not see the Hive Tyrant. No, I did see the Hive Tyrant. I did see the not Ivrain, the Autarch model, not Autarch. Jeez, the Avatar of Yneid model. I saw that one. That one was very cool. I did not see the Death Guard model though, unfortunately, in person. It might have come in, entered in at a time. One of the few times I wasn't there.
What is this guy? Glutos? Glutos is sick. It's just such a ridiculous model. I get it, he's Slanesh and supposed to be opulent and stuff, but it's just such hilarious.
Yeah, Andy Wardle stuff is always fantastic. He's another perennial winner at the Golden Demon. He won last year, I think. I think he won two last year. I remember one of the pieces he won for was his diorama. It was you probably remember seeing the one that had all the gnarled trees coming out of a snow scene.
I don't remember.
You know, that model, his Slanesh model on the throne was gorgeous.
Oh yeah. And we got this chaos. What are these dioramas? Oh no, units. Units. Oh, they're
Yeah,
all
these are Age of
chaos.
Sigmar. Yeah,
All chaos units.
yeah. I think that one was called Chosen, the one that won gold. I think the nameplate. I think he had the word "chosen" actually on the base. I think the banner is covering it up. There's Colin Eidenschink again for his Age of Sigmar unit entry.
Yep. This must be all this guy does. Like, man. Oh, and he won the large model.
Yes. Yeah.
Prognos is ridiculous.
That was one actually I did not see that one. I think he might have entered that one in a little later. Or that or the Age of Sigmar section of especially the large unit section tends to have a huge crowd around it, so it's very tough to get in there and take a lot of photos without getting pushed out of the way.
Yeah. Again, they have the prettier models, so
Yeah.
um, that Gigante, I like that Gigante. We got the battle scenes. That's intense. Gotta love the Horus's throne room duel.
Yeah. Oh, that Ben Cantor, he is. I can say a lot of great positive things about Ben Cantor. He runs a great class. If you ever go to Adepticon and you have an opportunity to take a class with Ben Cantor, absolutely take advantage of it. I did his color theory class because what he specializes in, and this will help to understand the piece that he does. Ben Cantor works in the film industry. He's a color corrector.
Oh.
So He knows color and lighting. He does it professionally for film and television. Um, so I took a color theory class with him at the 2022 Adepticon. In 2023, I sat in for one of his OSL classes, and the OSL class was literally right before the Golden Demon announcement. So it was awesome to see him win a golden demon, the gold and a golden demon for a piece that's so heavily based on OSL effects.
Yeah. That's so cool. And there's why we'll never get a Sanguinius model in 40K. And we have was that a
The
Gene Stealer Cold Sniper and what's it called? The Gang Warfare. Why can't I think of the name? My brain hurts.
Necromunda.
Necromunda. Yeah, that's what I think this one is. Again, words are hard. Oh, here's the Sergio one that Dom was talking about.
Now, Matt was one mentioned the Sergio model, and that's actually
Matt.
one of Sergio's entries. That one was a dual entry. So that was, of course, the Gloomspite Gets model chasing down a Cities of Sigmar model. That one's very popular. It shows up. Sergio, the entry that Sergio, that Matt's referring to for Sergio was in the open category, which, yeah, that I think it was an orc mech. That one is, we'll see that one shortly. But yeah, this is the first of two of his models that won gold and Golden Demon.
I do love the Mangler Squig models. Nothing has that silhouette, you know what I mean? It's so cylindrical and just ridiculous. The other duels. Banshee versus an Incubi.
Yes. This one was very cool to see in person. This one is an excellent photo of it because the model itself, I think, the only thing I didn't like about this, and when I say I didn't like it, I'm not saying that I can do any better at this point in time, although I'm trying to get there. This model or this whole diorama or duel was very low saturation colors in it. And I just wish the color palette for this one was a lot brighter, but technically speaking, its execution was, damn near flawless.
Oh, yeah. Well, the judge always liked the more intense colors and higher saturation. Like that's why our buddy Rich completely changed the look of his army.
Yeah. There definitely is a difference, though, in terms of painting for army competitions versus this level competition. But still, I would have liked to have seen a little more saturation in those color palettes for that particular duel.
Yeah, I do like bright colors. That's what I try to do. Contrast is usually a good way of getting noticed.
Yeah. Well, Federico there made good use of turquoise in that particular duel.
Oh, yeah. That looks great. Wish all the dragons were like the size of the special character dragons, but they wanted to put Sigmarines on dragons. And we got Middle Earth. Yes, people do actually play this game.
Yep, there's another Andy Wardle gold entry. That horse is amazing. The way that he just perfectly painted the texture on that horse is...
That fur's insane.
Yeah. I saw there was a couple other horse models or horse entries there, like Gandalf on Shadowfax and Saruman riding on his horse. And again, great pieces, but they just paled in comparison to the excellent texture work he did on that horse.
Yeah, that's just the fur. You can see the fur. That's so great. I love it. We got Theoden. And there we go. Gandalf from Shadowfax. Yeah, no. That L run definitely. It's probably also because Shadowfax is white, so it's harder to see the colors as much, or the fur white kind of ends up blending in. Unfortunately, that's not the painter's lack of skill. Honestly, it's just the color and our inferior human eyes.
Possibly, or it could just also. Because I don't remember the text if that one had any real texture to it, but yeah, still obviously they're all gorgeous pieces.
Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. You got to really like look close, and it's also the picture, I think. But yeah, seeing it in person, you could probably see it better. Well, obviously you can see it better. Small scale. Oh, they made a thing. Okay, so Aeronautica and Titanicus. Okay,
Yep, and
that's
there's
cool. Oh, and there's Colin
there's,
again.
yep.
What is this one?
So this entry here, this category had a very funny um, snafu during the presentation.
Oh,
So they announced the entrance bronze to gold. So this gorgeous small scale Titan, which was painted by James Tarot, when they first announced it, they got the names wrong. They posted the picture up, bronze. They showed the picture of the model, and instead of having James's name there, they put Sam Lens's name. So, and that was the first announcement that they made. Was this was the first category that they went through,
I haven't even seen
and
Sam's name in here.
no, unfortunately, Sam didn't actually didn't win a demon this year. But I think there was some confusion, and so they made the big announcement saying that it was Sam Lenz who won the bronze for that entry, and then Sam was in the crowd, it's like, "That's not my model," and so they had to stop the show for just like 2 minutes to figure out if the name was correct and it was the wrong model, or if the model was correct with the wrong name and it was the wrong name. So that model was the correct model that won. So they had to figure out who the real winner was very quickly.
Everybody, hang on. Wait up. Be right back.
So, but yeah, that was just a funny moment. But they got it sorted out pretty quickly.
That is gorgeous, though. I mean, so's the whatever that plane is, but I like the Titan better.
Um, I honestly didn't
Thunderbolt. Is
spend
that a
too much time.
Valkyrie?
I No, that's definitely not a Valkyrie. I think that's it's some sort
And
of a drop ship. I don't think it's a Thunderbolt because the Thunderbolt has that
no,
classic
it's not a.
World War II dogfight plane. Looks like like the British Spitfires. I think if my
Mhm.
World War II plane knowledge is correct, I think it looks like the Thunderbolt looks more like a British Spitfire.
Right, right, right. Huh. Oh, either way. And then you have this escape pod looking thing. I don't know what this is. It's standard Imperial technology. It's a brick, but if we put enough thrust into it, it'll fly.
Yeah, well, it's still a beautiful paint job either which way.
Oh, no, no, no. The painting is great. The engineering,
It's questionable.
then the young bloods, which now this stuff makes me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, there is. The Youngblood entrants were quite fantastic. Now, I will say, um, now Dom is saying here, no way a kid painted a Youngblood winner. It was so the entrants tend to range anywhere from 12 to I think 16 years old is the cap on the Youngbloods. Um, the Evan who won for the Youngblood Gold. A couple things I can say. He was definitely on the older side. He was, I feel as if he was on the 15 to 16-year-old range. I could be wrong, so I'm only guessing at his age based on seeing him in person. I don't know for sure, but I also believe that obviously for someone this talented, this age. I believe his father was also a painter of some note. So I think there was a lot of um, tutelage from his father or who was ever there with him, because it definitely seemed like they were there together as a unit.
I could see
So I'm
that.
sure, yeah. So it's not like he just picked up the brush. He's probably been painting for years, and if he has a father that paints to that high standard, I can easily see him doing that. But there were definitely a lot of broken hearts when adults were coming by looking at the young blood category. I mean, there was a kid there who was, oh, he had to be about 12 years old, maybe 11 years. He was 11 years old. I remember him saying he was 11 years old, and he was pointing out the model that he painted, and he's like, "Oh, that's my entry right there." And somebody else in the crowd said, "That you painted that Gray Knight?" And he was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Well, I'm just gonna go break my brushes in half now."
That's funny. Oh, look, and we have two different spellings of Lucas.
Yep.
Um, that Angron looks pretty good. So does whatever this unit is called.
I'm not sure what the other one is. I
The
don't know,
dude
TJ. Do you
riding
want to do
a
you want to roll the dice and compare? You do your Angron versus the Angron that Angron. See who comes out this the winner.
mine's better. Mine's better. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. That's right. I probably beat out a 15-year-old. Maybe. We're gonna keep moving. Hey, there's the Sergio.
Yes, yeah, that orc is the one that Matt was referring to in the chat.
That's nuts.
That one was amazing to see in person. I was actually right behind Sergio as he was entering that piece in line. So make me feel bad about the my little ghost kill that I was trying to enter and seeing something like that. I'm just like,
That's intense. No, Dom, I don't need to get out on the first cut.
and actually, yeah, don't definitely don't do that, Dom, because there's that can be problematic.
But yeah, no, the Sork is ridiculous. It's always amazed me to see someone do orc skin really well because green skin is not normal. Like you don't see green skin, so like always love seeing really well done green skin.
Two things I can say about this. With Sergio Calvo, I know somebody who follows him very closely, because I can't say that I followed him with any real dedication, but apparently he does not blend anything. It's all very clever tricks of layering
Yeah.
and to actually get the effect that he has. Um, so there's that, and I also think what really makes having a strong fundamental understanding as to how skin would work is what's really going to lead to really good orc skin, because the rules are going to be the same, and you're just changing out the colors.
Yeah. Well, that's like I have it. I've been trying to get it down, but I've been having issues trying to get a darker skin tone
Hmm.
lately. Like that's been a thing I've been trying to practice is dark skin tones because I mean well, not normal. Pale skin tones is kind of where I've always been. It's my skin tone. I do my skin tone. Um but I've been trying to figure out the darker skin tones from an African look to an Asian look to
Hmm.
all of the in betweens, just because that's outside of my normal comfort zone. So, like, when I want to do a new skin tone, I can do it.
I could strongly recommend, if you're looking for potentially an artist to kind of key off of in the miniature world, Alfonso Heraldez does amazing work with skin tones in general. And I think one of the best pieces of advice I can understand is, if you really want to get skin tones down, and I'm still working on it, so it's something that I'm struggling with myself, is is learning how to mix the paints, like mix the skin tone up from your basic primary colors using like a real color wheel will help you get there quite a bit.
Hmm. Okay.
Starting off with just starting off with a red and desaturating it, and then turning that into a brown, and then adding your different yellows and your greens and creating your skin tones from there. Does a lot to help with creating and understanding how skin tones work. And if you just kind of, instead of working from trying to turn a green or a red into a brown, and you're just kind of desaturating your greens a bit, will help you get into a really natural feeling palette for your work skins.
Hmm. Okay. Um. Yeah, I need to. That's a thing I want to practice. I'll have to take a look. This Imperial Fist is. Uh, I think he also went for a true scale because this head is a lot smaller than normal.
That is Eric Swinson is very well known. I personally think that of all the major miniature artists that I know of in the United States, Eric Swinson is definitely something I'm a big fan of. He has an art book coming out very soon that I probably will be buying. And to this man's talent is at such an insane level. Um, if you're following the miniature painting world outside of just war games, um, Eric Swinson went to Spain. I can't remember the name of the competition. Very long, Spanish name or Italian name. Had the word mountain in it. That's all I could pick out. But he won a major Spanish competition for miniature painting with a World of Warcraft Tauren miniature that he painted. So, and for an American to be able to go and win a Spanish painting contest, I think his talent is just unbelievable.
Hmm. Nice. Well,
And
either
his
way,
cool,
this thing looks great.
yeah, I think he sculpted that too. That's his own sculpt and everything.
Oh, well, let's think even more or less of ourselves here.
Yeah, well, the clue is the fact that it's in the open competition. So,
Oh yeah. No. I'm not trying to insult the guy or anything. That just looks insane. The fact that he sculpted it too.
I believe he sculpted it. I just want to say that I don't know for a fact. I'd have to probably go trolling his Instagram or something like that to figure out if it was his sculpt or not.
And then we have the winner, which is insane.
Sorry for any background noises. Some of my office alerts are going off because I'm here so late.
Ah, you're fine. But yeah, no. So Golden Demon was great for once. Like, well, I mean, I'm genuinely impressed every year, but this year's was great. Not gonna lie, very impressed. I still can do none of it, and can only aspire to be that good at this. I don't have the time to paint my own models to this quality, unfortunately.
I would say that you definitely have the talent and the ability, but I understand the time constraints with trying to do miniature painting professionally at the level that you're trying to do it at. Um,
I'd have to start.
Talent wise, I believe you have every bit of the talent needed to do this. It's just, of course, I get your time.
Yeah, I would have to get started now, I think, and pick something for next year, and then actually be able to go.
Um, so speaking of time, I'm glad you actually brought that up because where we were before talking about the feedback that I got from my piece, um, which so that piece, the Tau Ghost Keel that I did, was something that I was trying to do a lot of progression with. Um, don't mind me as I'm off to the side here, just putzing around with my phone so I can see if I can send you some of the pictures that I have. Let's see here. I hope I'm sending them to a good spot that you can pull off.
Yes, there we go. See if I can open them.
But so I didn't place this year in the finalists, which was disappointing. But I definitely understand why I didn't place. Um, this was a piece, and I apologize for the poor photography. I have to practice my photography skills. But the biggest things for me with the piece was I tried to progress quite a bit with learning and teaching myself weathering, trying to do a worn look on this. My overall goal was to try and create a piece that um, felt like it was like a living embodiment of a Tao propaganda poster, which is how why I chose to do the weathering in such a way that I did, so that it left like if you look at the front angle, which I consider to be my hero angle, the cast symbol is not weathered at all because I wanted that to kind of show through and be something different. Like I wanted it to show through like this is a special, like it's the Tao, it's the will of the Tao, or it's the desire of the Tao and their manifestation of the greater good, kind of showing through, and you know being unbroken. So artsy fartsy stuff, I guess.
Yes.
So I spent hundreds of hours on this piece. But what got me in the end was the advice I got when I showed Muhammad the piece. He said, he asked me how long it took, and I told him I painted this over the course of 4 months, and he just goes, "Oh no, 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 no." A piece like that to try and progress on and learn new techniques, that's too large of a piece. He said at minimum that would have been a 1 to probably 2 year piece for him to get every single portion of it perfect. And he said what likely happened was because on different parts of the model, like the insides of the arms, I had put color there just so that if someone was looking in on the model and they seen the shadow, they would have seen a hint of color because that area would be in shadow. Um, I he zoned in and said they probably took one look and said, oh, that ankle right there, not painted to the same standard. The inside of the arm, not painted. This model is unfinished, and that's likely what kept me from going into the finals position.
Oh no, I feel that. Like right here.
Where are you looking?
The back side of the left arm.
Yeah. So something like that. Although, huh, that part right there,
You might have finished
that's
that
just
later. These might have been progress pics.
um that part. No, that's probably just straight up a mistake. Honestly, I thought I finished up that area, so I guess I didn't. There you go.
Hmm.
So that's what happens when you're trying to rush through and do things like the oh um, the burst cannons mounted on his shoulder. I did those, the two of them in one sitting, and the amount of time that each individual part was taking, and I was trying to get it done as fast as possible. Just the burst cannons on the shoulders, with every little bit of that was 8 hours of just constant glazing to try and get those in place, and the edge highlighting was enough to make my eyes go cross. I think that was the day I gave myself a migraine while painting.
Ooh, it still looks amazing.
I'm very proud of the piece. All in all, I'm not upset. I'm very proud. And it's something that I can look back to and say, even if I didn't place, I still learned quite a lot. This was the piece that forced me, this piece forced me to get very quick and very fast and very good at trying to do non-metallic metals fairly quickly. So, like the entire gun that you were just looking at there, with the large gun on his right arm, that was work that was all done over the course of 2 nights. So, and that was something I was very proud of, to make it look that good in the amount of time that I spent on it.
Oh, it looks great. I love it. The whole model looks great, honestly. But yeah, that's intense. Yeah, I'd have to pick a model to start now. Um,
That's probably gonna be, I mean, I'm taking a break for a couple weeks from any intense painting. what I'm doing now, just for fun and to kind of reset myself. As I said earlier in the stream, I was working on doing more Marvel Crisis Protocol this year. So right now, I am not ashamed to say I am just slap chopping the crap out of some Avengers and X-Men, just to kind of have fun while painting,
Yeah.
and uh, that is a nice, good palette cleanser, keeping myself. Um, it helps me to put the fun back into painting, just painting stuff for fun and
Oh
not
yeah.
caring about it being perfect. But I already know the next piece I'm going to do, and this is one piece. This is a model that I've wished existed for years and years back when I was playing Chaos Space Marines more than I was playing my Thousand Suns. The next project I'm working on is the Lord Invocatus, or Lord Avocado, as some people like to call
Nice. My kind of fun models I'm working on and off are actually going to be gifts because apparently a thing we do now is groomsmen proposals. So obviously I'm getting married. Uh September
them. Oh,
2024. I think it's fun. I like giving gifts anyways, so they'll love it and they'll shut up. Um
no, I'm laughing because my brother, when he got married, did the same thing. He shipped a. I actually use it now for storing dice and miniatures for role playing stuff because it was a really nice wooden box, and he shipped that to me, and it came with a bottle of whiskey and a really nice cigar, and it had the invitation or the request to be a groomsman. Um, I think it was engraved or printed on the inside of the cask. I think it was technically.
Well, along with some funny, sarcastic cards I found on the internet, I'm also doing models, which are pertinent to each one of my groomsmen and best man. So I wanted to
Nice.
paint each one an individual model. The one is getting he's not watching, is he? No, a Warhammer Quest Chaos Warrior, an
I do
old
want to remind you
metal.
that this is on the internet. He can go back and watch it,
He
so you
won't
got to be
though.
careful. Oh, okay. So he's really not that good of a friend then if he's going to go back and watch your stream.
Yeah, he's gonna He's gonna wait till the hour and 55-minute mark to see which model I'm painting for him. I'm not showing the model. I've got another one that I'm looking at right now, which I'm working on. Um, and then the third one, um, which will really go without saying. Um, but yeah, so that's been kind of my like break models in between painting everybody else's stuff. And I'm gonna
Cool.
slap chop the hell out of my Votan once I actually build them all.
Nice. That's very nice. Um, I think are you gonna, what do you know what color palette you're going to be going for your Votan?
What's that?
Do you know what color palette you're going to be going with for your Votan yet?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that one. Okay,
I'm
nice.
not gonna get the 3D printed heads. I just like the the
Oh,
green with the like tan, and then on each unit's gonna be one's gonna be blue, purple, orange, red,
hmm
and then the wizard is definitely gonna be in the purple splinter robes.
That's awesome. No, I saw somebody did that, but I didn't see them go full meme with it with like 3D printed heads, but I just saw them do the color screen because that land fortress does look eerily similar to the old toy pizza truck or the van that they
Turtle
used to have.
wagon.
The turtle wagon, yeah.
Um,
You need to get like pizza restaurant decals to put on the side. Make it go full cyberpunk with it, you know.
I don't know if I'm gonna go full meme or if I just
Mm,
want to. I just like the colors, and I want it to be the inspiration, but it's not gonna be like turtle.
no, I get you. Yeah, I think inspiration is fine. You go full meme. I mean, unless you're gonna go full meme, like oh, the really good Necron player. He has the pretty crons. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head.
Fennel.
Yeah, Alex Fennel.
Yeah. He's got the pink ones with all the
The pink.
flowers and stuff on them.
Yeah,
I've
he's
seen
got the
that in
daisies and
person.
stuff
It's
on them.
ridiculous.
His army has got to be a treat to see on stream fighting against some other person's realistically painted army. You just see this monstrosity of cuteness and adorability.
It's always funny to see him on the top tables.
Yeah, I just picture the Necron Lord going, "My will be done." Ooh woo.
Oh, but yeah, I can't wait to start on my Votan. Though I'm gonna make my orcs very pretty for ACO first, just so I can have like the prettiest possible army, and maybe actually have a display board.
That's the big thing I'm working on. As you know, display board right now is the biggest issue for my army in particular.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
no,
going to be
that and the
tough.
flamers.
The flamers of Zinch, there's a lot of little work that needs to get done.
Oh, I know. I'm just.
The flamers and the screamers have got to get finished up.
I
All my
got to
HQ.
paint judge Frank's models for the one local GT for just for everybody to, in case you're wondering.
And he judged me very fairly, despite the fact that I tried my best to bribe him.
Yes, he came in second. I mean that no one was beating that Chaos Knight army.
No, no one was beating that Chaos Knight army, especially with my lack of a display board at the time. But I'm working on it. Got a lot of foam carved. Got a bunch of 3D printed stuff from our
Nice.
good buddy Andrew. So that's the project. Is probably starting in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna bust that all out now that the weather's getting nicer. And because part of the problem is I don't also want to be hot carving styrofoam inside my house.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I got to get mine going because I was gonna make a dual board for mine and my brothers since we have similar basing themes for our orcs and the Dark Angels. So it was gonna
Yes.
be a city kind of fight, city battle where
Mm-hmm.
he has like all the buildings and everything on his side, and on my side is like completely destroyed and like kind of coming off the wastelands where the orcs are coming from. That was the idea. We'll see
Cool.
if it happens. I'm gonna try.
Um, I'm building mine so that it's ubiquitous enough that it can be used for any Chaos Army. Um, and even with the way that there's gonna be multiple altars on it and things like that, and positions for key units. But I'm building in some stuff, some technology, if you will, that will allow it to be able to function for effectively any Chaos Army. Um, but there's going to be some fun tricks in building into it. And one of the biggest things I'm super excited about is one of the pieces that I wanted to include, um, and I'll share, maybe I'll share this with you after the stream. One of the pieces that I wanted to include was the horrible on the game but excellent display board fodder, the Noctilith crown.
Ah.
So I wanted that to be a major part of not a major part, but it was going to be definitely a part of the display board. And I wanted a way to represent that. And somebody at Adepticon happened to have it built the way that I wanted to do mine. And I was able to talk him into, taking his apart a little bit to show me the inside mechanics. And I got photos and stuff. So
Oh, nice. Well, I think we got some projects then.
absolutely.
Um,
So I'll be as I'm working on that. I'm getting actually probably not just I probably won't be posting pictures of the progress, at least not on the stream, because I kind of want to surprise friends with it when it's all done. The local
I
group.
understand. I feel you. I get it.
I don't think I've actually shared pictures of it with anybody. As that of the progress I've done so far, but um, as I'm painting other models, though, I'll be sharing those. Like I said, I want to get the display board done, and then not too long after that, I'm going to be starting to work on the Lord Invocatus because I definitely want to take at least the next year to get that perfect.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a good idea. All right. Well, I think that was a great first stream. And I think we're gonna do this. This is gonna be a regular thing. We're gonna be here every week. Well, that we can. Obviously, life happens. I'm getting married. Frank exists. You know,
Do I?
do you? You're in this little
I'm pretty
box
much the.
over here. I gotta point in the opposite direction. Um, but no. Where everybody's busy, so sometimes things happen. Either way, you get the idea. Either way, we will be back next week. Take a look at any more new model reveals. The technology and the presentation will get better and better as we go. We will get significantly less terrible at this, and as we go, and we'll have some guests. We'll have some guests on as we go as well. So not only it won't always just be you looking at my and Frank's gorgeous faces. We'll go through our team, especially with our great painters. We, me and Frank, have a lot of friends throughout the community, so we'll try and have all those different people on. They get there to interview them and stuff like that. This will be fun. This will be great. Remember to follow me on the socials, TayJayPaints, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you visit my website, especially if you need any painting done. I say a lot. Well, thank everybody for joining us. See you
Yes,
next
thank you. If
week.
you watched the whole stream, it means a lot to us right now as we're trying to build this up.
Oh yes, absolutely would appreciate. Well, same bad time, same bad channel next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.